do the opposite case. So that first variation is what occurs when the interest rate in the marketplace goes up. But of course, it can go the other way as well. In this case, we're going with the decline. What happens is when it goes down by 3%? So now instead of 10%, we're at 7. And just for sake of continuity or consistency, we're going to do exactly the same scenario. I'll do it a little bit faster since we now know the math. But let's go to a new tab. And so the base case is the same because it was 10%, 10 years, $1,000. So let's make the interest rate change here. Let's clean that up. F2 is going to give us an edit, and we're going to do a decrease. Decrease. And it happens in year 0, time of issuance. So now it's going to go to 0.07. And so we can check this factor, F2. Yep, that looks correct. And go down a little bit just to double check. Yep, that's right. It's 1 divided by 1 plus the interest rate, locked to the power of 3. And let's check the PVs. Yep, that's still correct. It's the factor times the cash flow. And just pick another one at random. Yep, that copy seems okay. Hit F2, that's the sum, right? So now, if the interest rate at time 0 goes down from 10% to 7%, that means investors really want it, right? If you're going to pay 10% per year and the rate you really need is 7, then you're willing to bid up the price. So notice this is higher. So as the interest rate is lower, the price is higher, right? As I mentioned, it's opposite effect, opposite direction. So again, let's change the scenario where it doesn't happen in year 0. The decrease happens in year 4. So if it's in 4, that means we have 6 years left over. Notice that the interest payments do not change in any of these scenarios. Whether interest rates go up or down doesn't matter. Whether we're talking about T0 or T4, it also doesn't matter. That's why I keep stressing the contract determines the cash flows, right? Now the interest rate here drops to 7%, cash flow times the factor, and finally the sum. It goes all the way to the end. Doesn't matter because these are all zeros anyway. So it's 1,076. So again, it is higher than face. However, look at the amount of difference. Since you're not getting this excess interest payment where we're getting 10% based on a bigger number each year, the value of the bond drops pretty dramatically if that occurs in year 4. So it's from 1,200 if it happens right away, and if it happens in year 4, it's only 1076. So the answers to our questions: in which direction does the bond value go if the interest rate goes down? Answer: up. It's the opposite direction. The bond yield goes down, the price goes up. And what happens if it happens in year 0 versus year 4? The more years that are left with this kind of excess annual interest payment, the fewer of those there are, the less value there is. And in this particular case, the price impact would be very large if it happens at time 0 because you have 10 more years, versus still an increase, but not as large an increase if it happens year 4 because now you only have 6 years of this excess interest payment. So those are variations.